Beneath the towering skyline and gleaming developments in Abuja, the Nigerian capital city, lies a troubling reality. Many of the beautiful houses are empty, unoccupied, the rents are ever rising, and shortage of accommodation is everybody's Abuja story. As real estate developers continue to build in the city's high-end districts, the question remains, who really benefits from these many luxury houses? And more importantly, why are there so many vacant properties, especially when so many Nigerians can't afford housing? We asked a seasoned estate developer, Engineer Aliyu Yunusa, what factors are driving up housing prices in Abuja. He pointed to both demand and speculation, explaining how the market is being distorted by the activities of political elites and high-end investors.
In Abuja, the factors that basically influence house prices are as follows. Number one, the location, which is in fact one of the most component factor. Because you agree with me that price of land in Maitama is not the same amount as either Kubwa or Wagwalada. So the location has a very high impact, because why is that these areas like Maitama, scarcity of land in such area is high. Yes. So let me give you probably some example. Like we say too, for example, along that Ademola Crescent, you see what is happening in such area now is remodeling. People want to build something, there is no land, they buy another person's property, then and rebuild. So imagine you want to buy a house in such area. So it means that the cost of the previous house they bought, they demolished and rebuilding is going to come on. So number one is location. Then two is the economic factor. For the span of 2 to 3 years now, this industry has experienced inflation of almost 300% in increase of materials. So the pricing of materials, and also the FX too has effect, a very high effect to play in the pricing as well, because some of the finishing items that we use are imported, and with the high rate of dollar in the market, so the cost of importation will be high. It will also directly affect the price of the houses.
Many civil servants and ordinary Nigerians in Abuja struggle to find a place to live near their workplaces. They can't afford the empty Abuja houses. They instead spend hours commuting from far removed area councils outlining suburbs of Nasarawa State or even Niger State. With land acquisition being the game for the rich and the politically connected, much of Abuja's prime land ends up in the hands of the men of power and means. But what about ordinary Nigerians? Can they access land to build affordable housing in the city? Is the process as transparent as the authorities says it can be?
There are government allocations, then there are second buyer lands. Then as a developer, we also talk about the ones we partner with people to develop. Now, if you have direct allocation from the government, what you just need is for you to apply. You apply, pay for the necessary application fees, and the land will be allocated to you, which is far cheaper. But the process is a bit tedious. It takes time, which also scare or demotivate some people away from going that route. So what I see there is issue of accessibility. Though there are some when we have theory, we also have to think about practicals, especially trying to understand how your socio-economic environment works. So what I will say is accessibility. You know, the bureaucratic bottleneck create that stress in such a way that people that have access to the authority have it faster and easier than all the people that will have to pass through the bureaucratic bottleneck.
Some Abuja residents shared their concerns about the lack of affordable housing. Many pointed out that the high costs are simply out of their reach, forcing them to live far from the city center.
House for Abuja because like as in I don't know wetin dey sup. But nah, even for where I dey work, my working place, I tried collecting house there, but the amount they were telling me was like, I come the reason wetin I dey do, where I go dey see money dey pay this kind rent, how much person could dey save a year, things like that, all those things.
Say because like the houses they built in those days, they are compared to the one that they are building now, that the building materials are expensive now. You understand? Before you talk one or two things, they say, do you know how much they buy building material in the market? And some of these houses have been built for a decade when things are not like this. But it's just because of the cost of living, everything they increase it at the same time.
Where you're working, and most of the times they pay collect from where you work. That's what you determine, and you have to calculate your transport. So once you do all the calculation, you have to look for a place that is okay for you to stay. Like Pape here is closer to here. Gishiri the same thing. So I think these two places is okay. In some ways, it's okay.
In the high-end districts, such as Asokoro and Maitama, housing is priced more for status than for necessity. But is this the future of Abuja's real estate market? Can the average Nigerian ever afford to live in these areas?
If I start telling you we are building affordable housing in Asokoro, if you did not tell me to my face that, oh, please stop lying, I know within yourself, you will know that this is not true. I cannot be building a house in Asokoro and I will tell you it's affordable housing. Housing affordability in Nigeria context is always targeted at low income earners and middle income earners. Then look at the salary spread and the cost of housing. That is why I personally appreciate the current Minister of Housing and Urban Development. You understand? So the minister, from inception of his office, he flagged off 100,000 housing scheme, affordable housing scheme to be developed for these low and middle income earners. Now, this is where the question comes in. You want affordable housing and you want to live in Maitama. Do you really need affordable housing?
But beyond the high cost of houses in Abuja, there is also the question of vacant property. With so many high-end buildings sitting empty, there is growing concern that the real estate in Abuja might just be a tool for money laundering, a practice that only further worsens the housing crisis.
Are people laundering money in real estate? No! Do you know why I'm saying no? Because if I say yes, it means I said yes, this is not doing their job. So the ones that are being laundered in real estate, they are exposing them. Last year we saw almost 500 units over that was confiscated by EFCC, that was being built by money laundering. There are different reasons people own properties. Some people buy to live inside. They are also contributing their own quota. Some people buy to resell. Some people buy to let it out. Some people buy to save their money. Because one of the ways to actually save your money, that money that is lying in the bank, one of the ways you can give me to help you save it is to save some property. Most of those houses, if some of them are not occupied, as you said, probably it doesn't fall I buy to live. It doesn't fall I buy to let. It might fall in I buy to use it to keep my money. Are you getting it now? And there's something I wanted to interest you. You know, land tenure system in Nigeria is higi haga. You can develop an estate completely somebody will come and told you build on my land. How are we sure that legal battles are not most of the reasons that most of these properties are also unoccupied? How are we sure that some of these properties are not kept to save money?
So what's the solution? Some have suggested that the government should impose taxes on empty property, forcing their owners to rent them out at lower, more affordable prices.
I don't think it's a good idea, because already you are infringing their right. It is their property. It is mine. Do you know I can buy property and decide to bring it down? It's my money. Then the next question, government should be taxing. Is government not taxing houses? What is a tenement rate in Nigeria? What is ground rent? Ground rent, because government leases land for you for 99 years, you keep on paying them the ground rent annually for that year. Then your tenement rate are the rate you paid on value of your property annually. Now the question should be enforcement. Are government enforcing tenement rates? The government have the data, complete data of the houses? Not only the number of the houses, they have the data of people that own the houses.
But is this enough to address the systemic issues plaguing Abuja's housing market? Or is it more regulation and perhaps a shift in the policy focus required?
To bring housing to the common man is not issue of delocalizing Abuja city. It's not issue of, so we have to work at the component that made housing. We have to start thinking component that made housing, starting from the entire value chain, from the land, the planning and design, the certification and documentation, the inputs. We have to. If cement is our problem, what is the alternative? Are you getting it now? So this is what we should do, because it is one thing to buy house. It is another thing to be able to build it. Are you getting it now? So the contents of where the seat of power is just an outside thinking. We have to look at, because housing is a system. So we have to look at this system.
The question remains, will Abuja's housing market evolve to serve everyone, or will it continue to cater to the few, leaving the majority to only imagine the luxury and comfort from the outside? I am Chimize Zedima for 360 Nigeria.